Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Super Sunday here on the Player Zone channel. And what better than to have a Serie A game to be watching and commentating on? It's two of the big boys in Serie A, the defending champions Napoli, who are coming to this game third in Serie A, taking on ninth place now, Lazio. Both your two teams with a solid run of form. Lazio unbeaten in the last 4 games despite some difficult results and 3 draws in that time there. For Napoli, 4 wins out of the last 5 games, including a recent victory in Saudi Arabia, taking on the Supercoppa against Bologna. Look at the tifo display from those Lazio fans in the home end there. Let's get to your team news before kick-off here today. For Lazio, we've obviously seen them play already this season, and they line up like this. It's Provedel in goal, Marusic and Pellegrini, the fullbacks, Romagnoli and Hila at the back. Cataldi has a massive job to do in midfield alongside Matteo Guendouzi. Into the side comes Basic, Zaccagni, always a dangerous player, the skipper up top alongside Noslin and Cancelleri. Obviously, no Rovella on the side, and Dia as well, is out on AFCON duty. For Napoli, Milinkovic-Savic in goal, Di Lorenzo, Ramani and Juan Jesus at the back. The wingbacks are Politano and Spinazzola today, McTominay and Lobotka in midfield. Rasmus Højlund leads the line. The informed David Neres on the right-hand side. And it is Elmas who's been in fine form on the left-hand side. Just having a moment of silence here for a recent tragedy. But now we are ready to go. This one is going to be a big one. The ball just in frame as well here. Alrighty. Strap in, everybody. We're in for a big one here. Here we go. Sunday lunchtime football in a soggy capital. Lazio and Napoli to get us kicked off here on this Sunday. First game around Europe's top leagues. So a lot of the eyes of the football fans will be on this game here. We're almost ready to go. Great noise inside the Stadio Olimpico. And we're underway. Napoli get us kicked off. They're in their change. Black strip, kicking from right to left. It is Lazio, the home team, kicking from left to right in their stereotypical sky blue. It is third place, taking on 9th in Serie A. 2 teams in some great form as we get this game underway here. Everything here is all ready to go on my end. Great noise inside the Stadio Olimpico early in this game here. The fans are up for this one, and as they should be. Big game here with the champions coming to town. Quick score prediction before we get too deep into this game. I think Napoli will dictate the game. I think they'll look to play in those midfield areas. Lobotka and Scott McTominay have done that so well. It's the danger comes from David Neres up top. And I think Napoli cruise to a 3-1 victory here for me. But Lazio have been good in recent weeks. Here's Rasmus Højlund. The ball out to Spinazzola. He will get up and down that touchline there. Ball in. Hila doesn't really deal with it enough. And it's hooked up the pitch. And there's a foot race here. And Noslin was the quicker of the two. But Ramani in the end does very well to get back to Milinkovic-Savic. First sign of Lazio looking to counter-attack and get at Napoli in that way. Spinazzola. Almost there, just picking up a dangerous spot closer to the midfield area. You look at those up top there. Neres and Elmas very, very compact near Rasmus Højlund. Spinazzola and Politano will act as, I guess, an even wider player and more like wingers. Here is David Neres. one way to the next. Bit of trickery from him. Left-footed ball lofted in. Spinazzola gets the first contact. Højlund bundles over Gendouzi, and that's a foul on the Danish. Good initial ball in. Good contact from Spinazzola, and in the end, Rasmus Højlund quite carelessly bundling over the French central midfield player. Two last time these two teams played in the Serie A. And that was at Stadio Olimpico. But Lazio to get the victory versus Napoli at the Maradona last season. So one of the few teams to really have the better of Napoli. Maybe a bogey team coming into this campaign. And it's a game that Napoli have to win, considering Milan won on Friday night. And the chasing pack all drop points. Juventus, and I think Bologna are also losing yesterday. Como got a victory, Juventus drew 1-1 to Lecce, and Roma lost to Atalanta. So Bologna play Inter later today. That'll be an exciting game there. If you're joining me, let me know your score predictions for this one here. Here is Spinazzola. Here's Di Lorenzo, the skip on the right-hand side here. Money now. Lobotka. Napoli want to just up the gears here slowly. We know Maurizio Sarri's side will be compact, will be hard to beat. Will be very defensively orientated. McTominay, a Lobotka now. Great to have all of you joining me here on this Super Sunday. Great clash here in the Serie A to look forward to. Here's David Neres now. 5 minutes down, still nothing to talk about in this one. Great feed from Politano, who's away from Gendouzi. And Romagnoli has to get rid, and it's out for a corner. So Napoli with the first corner kick of the game. Here's Scott McTominay. Last season Serie A MVP is just starting to get going this season, as his side look to defend their crown. It's going to be Matteo Politano, and he's a left foot to whip this ball in. Rahmani, McTominay, Juan Jesus. All targets. Oh, good ball in. It's taking a touch, and it's out of play. He didn't come off in the end. I think it just bounces off Scott McTominay in the end. Didn't know much about it. A lot of players in front of him and just almost blindsided him in that chance there. So, big opportunity miss for the Scottish international. 0-0 after 6 minutes now. Here's Provedel. Goes very direct. That is a careless challenge from Di Lorenzo, who's playing as the right-sided centre-half today in that back three. I think the new role was really suited him, considering age is not helping him and his lack of pace these days. So Matteo Politano, who's a workhorse at wing-back, does a good job covering defensively. As we see Antonio Conte on screen. Got the big rain jacket on. Quite an ugly day. Here's Rasmus Højlund. The ball just didn't stick to his foot there. And gave the ball away. I don't know what's happened in the build-up. He cuts away from match play, and all of a sudden, a Lazio free kick ended at the feet of the Danish centre-forward. Just looked to roll over the football there and got it stuck under his feet. So, massive chance missed there for Napoli and for Rasmus Højlund. There is Maurizio Sarri, who after his side had a poor start to the season, have got going in recent weeks. Been very competitive. Not had things go their way. Obviously, you heard about all the refereeing discussions with Lazio. That's very well. There's Noslin. Oh. And in the end, a great block for Di Lorenzo. Noslin had an opportunity there as Cancelleri bundled over Juan Jesus, who went to ground way too easily. And the dink ball in was fabulous. Di Lorenzo committed too high. And in the end, Noslin, that's a big opportunity for the centre forward. And Di Lorenzo made up for his mistake by getting ahead on that and blocking that ball. Here's the first corner for Lazio. Pellegrini goes short. Zaccagni keeps it alive. Pellegrini lofts that in. Now Matteo Guendouzi. It's Matteo Romagnoli to put the ball in. Zaccagni fighting. Spinazzola away. This is much better for Lazio on the front foot and penning this Napoli side in. They're not unbeatable this season. They've shown a lot of vulnerabilities. And at times they have been sluggish, especially in the start of games. So this is your chance if you're Lazio to get on top of Napoli early on. Noslin. Looking for Zaccagni, who's going to cop a lot of attention today from that Napoli back line. They know that he is the main man, the skipper for Lazio. He is the key in this game to getting the better of this Napoli side. So he'll have a lot of attention. Napoli want to be touch tight to him because they're given too much space. Well, that's dangerous. And that's going to be goals, you'd assume. So if you're just joining us, 3-1 prediction for me in this game here. McTominay. Well done from Lobotka, McTominay midfield. Those two have been fabulous since combining forces. Politano now. Into the skipper, Di Lorenzo. Lazio just standing off for a minute here. McTominay looked to spray that ball across the park, but intervened by Noslin. He's the big Scottish international to Lobotka. Back with McTominay. There is a chance to turn and run. And Neres as well. And that's out of play for a Napoli throw. Good start from both these two sides. A good tempo to an early lunchtime kickoff. Napoli want to get going. As we said, the chasing pack did drop points yesterday. Juventus and Roma respectively dropping some key points. That'll be a good chance for Lazio to work their way up the table. They want to be in that Champions League discussion as we go into February. There's David Neres. Does incredibly well to keep that ball and feed Elmas, who's bundled over by Matteo Guendouzi, and that's a foul. To the disappointment of the Lazio fans, and Guendouzi himself not very happy. Very well done from Elmas to get himself in between Guendouzi and the football and win a free kick in a very dangerous position. Obviously, you know Kevin De Bruyne right now, he's out injured for Napoli, but they have a lot of good set-piece takers. Provedel will have to set up this wall quite smartly. Politano is taking a keen interest in this one here. McTominay's walked away from it. And Lobotka remains. So Politano and Lobotka stand over this one. Looks like Politano's left foot seems the most interested. However, Lobotka is holding his hand up. So might be him to. It will be Lobotka to take. Lofts it in towards the back post where Ramani is. And in the end, it's overhit. And that's a play for that goal kick. If the game does continue in this fashion, quite tight and tense, as options from the bench. Lazio have Tavares, Proscard as well, and Isaacson alongside Nicolo Rovella and Pedro. For Napoli, shortened squad. Mazzocchi, Noah Lang, Miguel Gutierrez, Oliveira are all attacking options as well. And Buongiorno can be a defensive coverage in there as well. Anguissa, Kevin De Bruyne, Billy Gilmour, Lukaku, Sam Berkham are all missing for Napoli. So It is a stretched squad, but still, on paper, the stronger of the two sides that have been put together here for this matchup. Here's Rachmani. Now to Di Lorenzo. Napoli having the lion's share of possession at the start of this game here. 70% of the football compared to Lazio's 30%. But Lazio, as we would expect, are happy to stand off here. Milinkovic-Savic goes direct. Politano wins the second ball. Pellegrini as well, however, to win the ball back. Fantastic job from the fullback. Now a bit of trouble though. Di Lorenzo wins that ball high up the pitch. Politano now wants to cut in that left foot. Pellegrini with him every step of the way. It's lofted in. Nico Spinazzola! Goal for Napoli! And the Champions lead at the Stadio Olimpico. What a cross from Politano. Stood it up towards the back post. And it is wing-back partner Spinazzola in the goals once again. Napoli take the lead. Advantage to those in Naples. The defending champs get up to a fantastic start here in the Serie A lunchtime kickoff. It all comes from the press high up the pitch. Di Lorenzo wins the ball back. Plays the ball here to Politano. Always wanted his left foot. Pellegrini did fantastic to force him on his right, but his right-footed ball was as good as his left-footed ball. Dinked him perfectly towards the back post. And Spinazzola on the volley places it to perfection. 1-0 Napoli away from home. It is smiles in Naples. And it might feel lifeless here in Lazio. And the champions lead in the capital. What a start for Antonio Conte's men. Just fabulous from Spinazzola and fabulous from Napoli, who cannot be denied. They want this title as much as the two Milan sides. And we're in for one hell of a title fight with all these three teams playing such great football right now. Here's Juan Jesus. There is Scott McTominay winning that ball in midfield. Here come Napoli again. They've got their mojo up now. Politano, after that great assist, into David Neres. Neres now. Releases Politano. Di Lorenzo's ball in. Spinazzola again. Oh, couldn't quite hit that ball as well as connected with the first. It could have been 2-0 inside of 2 minutes. Elmas dropping into defend. Spinazzola defending now as well. Doing the job at both ends of the park. What a start here for Napoli. Lazio need to wake up. Too pragmatic, too defensive in the early stages here. The fans are up for it. The players might not be. Neres gets there. And Romagnoli gets across to make an important challenge. Pellegrini's going to have his work cut out for him. Crunching shackle from the experienced veteran at the back, Romagnoli. Neres, though, in some fantastic form right now. He wouldn't have his impact in this game here, but it's been Politano so far. Pellegrini backpedaling. Politano's ball in. Hoyland was there, but once again, Romagnoli throwing his body in the line of fire. And a great defensive header to get that ball rid. Because Hoyland was there, wow. Politano looking down, just left foot, right foot. You can't stop the man at the moment. One of Serie A's defensive beasts. Lazio under pressure here from Napoli. It's a good little spell from them. Politano again. That's too deep, you think. McTominay! Oh! Juan Jesus had a chance. Elmas dinking. Falls way of Sergio Lobotka. David Neres now. Oh, incisive pass. Was looking for Politano. Broken up though by Zaccagni. Basic who gave the ball away. Feeding Noslin. Zaccagni needs help. No one there with him. That was the ball back to Romagnoli. Now with Marusic. Cancelleri. A little bit of keep you off with Matteo Ganduzzi. Look at Antonio Conte on the touchline. He's doing a a shift of his own there, up and down there, demanding more of his side. Such is the manager. Such a winner. He's made this Napoli side a winning side as well. They've been so hard to beat at times this season, even when they're not at their very best. But in recent weeks, the last month or so, we've seen the Napoli of old. Noslin, a little flick looked on for Matteo Guendouzi, but giving it away. Here's Rasmus Højlund. He keeps his feet well, gets away from Mario Gila, but then the touch was too heavy. And Romagnoli could clean up. Provedel now. Hasn't this been a good move for Rasmus Højlund as well? Joining Napoli, obviously formerly of Atalanta a few seasons ago before joining Manchester United. And it just feels at home in Serie A, you think. Has that knack in and around the box right now for Napoli. Something he just couldn't find at Manchester United. And what he can do so well in this league is with a level of similar physicality to the Premier League is hold the ball up and be that link for Napoli inside the final third. He's been such an important hold-up man. More agile and mobile than Romelu Lukaku, who's an extended period out. You also got players like Lorenzo Luca as well, who's very, very dangerous. So Napoli have their danger men up top. Rasmus Højlund has been the man this season to really be the sharp tooth at the end of the Napoli attack. To just keeping a bit of the football here and trying to regain some control after a very, very good 8 minutes or so for Napoli. Mario Gila now. Lazio just a little bit safe here with possession. See Sarri also marching up and down his technical area. Is Marusic. Quite infuriated. His side start. Juan Jesus. Back to Milinkovic-Savic. He won't have much to do today, you'd think. But when he's called into action, he'll need to be at his very best because Lazio are a team that like to counter-attack. They like to maximise minimal chances in and around the goal face. It's Rachmani now. Di Lorenzo. What's the skipper got? Only Politano, the man who set up that first goal with a fabulous dink cross. Rachmani. Milinkovic-Savic. Look at Conte. He's at the left wing-back position with Spinazzola. Smart dink ball for the goal scorer, but maybe too smart and too cute out of play. I believe that's the third goal of the season for Spinazzola this year. Added goals into his game. We know he has that in him. We've seen it refound this season for his Napoli side. Currently the two wing-backs for Napoli in some good form. Alongside the two number 10s, Elmas and Neres. No fouls of the referee, so Napoli play on. Here's Neres. This is where Napoli can be dangerous in the break position. Neres. He'll have to do some good work and he deflects it out of play for a Napoli corner kick. Lazio on a foul in the early portion here. Juan Jesus. Oh, so, hey, it's actually Spinazzola appearing to do something to Cancelleri there. The attacker gets back to his feet. So it is a Elmas right-footed in swinger to come now. A lot of the big targets on the 6-yard box there for Napoli. McTominay is occupying that back post. It's a short corner taken. Lobotka sets Elmas up. Great ball in. No first contact though. Here is Politano now. The wing back into midfield to Lobotka. Now to Elmas. He's stretched out wide left now. After taking that corner kick one way to the next. Send Gila shops. And it's come off Elmas's hand there. Politano demanding the ball in there. Elmas not happy with him either. Did the good work early. Got past Cataldi. He got sent shops there, but then Noslin smartly came out to close that space down, and in the end it deflects off Elmas now to play as the rain continues to beam down here in the capital. Love to hear your thoughts from where you're joining us around the world, guys, this Super Sunday. Very, very, so far, entertaining game for the Serie A. Love the Serie A audience who get here on Sundays. Great to have you all here. 3-1 prediction for me. I see Napoli winning this one, and so far, so good. And there's the stat there on screen. 10 wins from the 10 games where Napoli have scored first. They are a team that likes keeping clean sheets, and we know they've got so much attacking talent. It's a stat that makes total sense. Pellegrini up to win the ball. Second header won by Guendouzi. Di Lorenzo now. And Napoli control it. They just need to win all these little 50-50 battles and look much tidier in possession right now. And you can see that in the stats. They've bossed most of the key statistics. 60% of the possession. We had that big chance and scored the big chance. 3 shots, 3 corners. Lazio yet to have an attempt on the Napoli goal. Here's Juan Jesus into the feet of Spinazzola, and that's quite careless from the wing-back. The goal scorer of this game so far. Scoreline, though, not dampening the spirits of those Lazio fans who continue to be in great voice here on this Sunday lunchtime fixture. Noslin goes to ground. The referee does not see no foul there. So we play on. McTominay. Dropping the ball off to Lobotka. Rahmani now. Back with Lobotka. And to Politano. Out come the big jackets here as the rain gets heavier. Maybe we might see some tactics slightly change. These players are all very skilled at Napoli and quite quality at Lazio as well. But in these wet conditions, you might have to be a little bit more direct. Well, Marusic and Cancellieri got each other's way. And here comes Elmas. Drops the ball to Spinazzola. Great block there. And Mario Hila. Elmas runs out of green grass there. Marusic had that under control, and Cancellieri just got in his way in the end. It was always comedic there, the way the ball was given away, but then Mario Hila gets back to make the important challenge. Denying Napoli a second first half goal. Which you might think writes this game off. If Napoli get a 2-goal lead, can't see Lazio coming back. Højlund. The toe poked that ball through, but broken up in there. Guendouzi wins the headed ball. Cancellieri, Noslin looked well offside. No flag now, the flag eventually goes. Just try to hold his run, but Cancellieri just took too long to release the ball. Centre forward, a massive job in Bouladia's absence. Quite a handy little player, Noslin, but big job here from the start against this Napoli back line. Quite a complete back 5 here. Lobotka. They've got Neres and Politano furthest right. He does choose the latter. Here's Politano. Pellegrini backpedaling. He's had to do a lot of defensive work inside of the first 25 minutes of this game. McTominay releasing Neres. Great zip to Napoli's player right now. Getting in and out of feet much quicker. It's keeping Lazio moving. Maurizio Sarri on the touchline there. Clapping his hands, wanting more from his men. Rahmani. Di Lorenzo. Now with... And it's 2-0 Napoli! A fantastic set play! And Matteo Politano, he assisted the first. The second ball is even better. And Rahmani makes it 2-0 to Napoli. More smiles in Naples right now. The centre half with a fantastic flicked header into the near post. using the wet and slippery conditions to his advantage. And Antonio Conte's side are absolutely humming on Sunday lunchtime football here. Rahmani can't believe it. Doesn't get too many goals, but that's one to remember. Fantastic cushioned header into the near post. And you can hear there the first goal he's had since match day 17 of last season. Almost a year between goals. Look what it means to Conte. Napoli, 2 to the good. The champions on fire here in the capital. And Lazio with all to do now. There is a VAR check in progress. Potentially a foul or an offside here in the lead up to this goal. So that handball in the end against Noslin coming back to hurt Lazio. The referee waiting for confirmation. There's players going everywhere, but most importantly, no one went with Rahmani in the end. Guendouzi's close to him, but nowhere near close enough to compete. The VAR check continues. Goal stands. 2-0 Napoli. The champions looking the goods here in this game. Napoli fans making all the noise now. The stadium had a great buzz before kickoff. But Napoli have quieted the Stadio Olimpico crowd. Romagnoli wins that header. Cancelleri can't control that ball out to play. Napoli throw. That's where over half an hour played in this first half. All Napoli. Lazio have not laid a glove on the champions today. Not an attempt on target, not an attempt on goal at all. That's a turnover. Noslin's won it. Chaos in the back for Napoli. Cancelleri. Great block. Tomine getting back, and all the Napoli black shirts are back now. But Lazio might have just sprung to life there. Noslin winning that ball. That's a great ball in. Milinkovic-Savic punches away. That's the first real job he's had to do so far today. Pellegrini now. Politano's down. The man, he's got the 2 assists. Yep. Here it is. Rahmani. Bit careless in possession. Gave the ball to Noslin. Milinkovic-Savic, so as he often well does, comes off his line, smothers the opportunity, forces Noslin to play that ball backwards to Cancelleri, and by the time he does that, McTominay and co get in the way. The whistles ring out. So the Stadio Olimpico, Politano's back to his feet. That was finally much better though from Lazio. Long delay though, we're back underway. Game's had a great hum, a great speed to it. Provedel looking, Di Lorenzo winning. Lobotka around the corner to no one in particular, so Provedel will have again. Do Lazio have the gears to go up? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. They're a team that defends well. Looks to nick chances and nick opportunities. Not known for their most attacking, beautiful football in the final third, but with players like Zaccagni and Noslin, you know they can work their way back into this game here. Pellegrini marching forward. Politano was late. No foul though. Guendouzi wins that ball back. It gets very heated and competitive in midfield. Pellegrini. Zaccagni now. Ran into Politano's brick wall. Crossfield pass, Cancelleri rising. But a header straight to Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Lazio are building though. Look at the way they're pressing now as well. They really want to get in Napoli's face here. But that great Napoli side can play through this. They've got the quality players who are good on the football and can deal with presses. It's Rachmani now, that goal scorer. It's his goal and Politano's goals that are the difference so far. Two of the Napoli back five getting on the score sheet. And both assists coming from that man, a right wing back, Matteo Politano. He's been very, very impressive today. Lobotka. Look at that content the touchline, demanding the ball gets released. Di Lorenzo now. He's marching on. Obviously, he'd naturally be the wing back, but third now to the right centre half. Di Lorenzo into David Neres. You know how dangerous he is in these situations. Neres. Great ball. Elmas. Crossbar. Oh, what a build-up there for Napoli. That could have put the game absolutely to bed. The football is just sensational right now. Sumptuous. McTominay turns. McTominay takes it on. And he sends that into the home end. What's an opportunity there for Elmas. Neres just couldn't lose the ball. And once again, it's someone making a late run in between Lazio defenders. Elmas got a good piece of contact on it. Almost too good in the end. And his header came off the crossbar. Maybe a lifeline there for Lazio. They want to score before half-time, but that's not good enough for Basic. Napoli are back with it. Neres. Well in for Romagnoli, and he demands more. Zaccagni. Basic. Just need a little bit more intent on the football, Lazio. Just lacking that intensity on the ball right now, and it's allowing Napoli to get back and get numbers behind the football, which they do so well. I mean, no, they do that very well. Pellegrini. Into Noslin. That's a foul for the centre forward on the goal scorer, Rachmani. That's a foul there, quite clearly. What a ball even Politano there, and then Rachmani finding the back of the net. Provedel, nothing to really do about that. That's just a well-converted set. Look at Conte. You don't see the man smiling and laughing like that very often on the touchline, but there you go. Just showing the quality of that set play. Especially in the Serie A where the competition is so tight. Set plays are very important. What a great pass by McTominay. Sets away David Neres. Here's Politano. He's on a hat-trick of assists here in the first half. Neres tries to get away from Pellegrini and was unable to do so. But boy, is his right-hand side had so much fruit for Napoli in this first half. Whether it be Di Lorenzo, Neres, or Politano, they have marched up this right-hand channel. Pellegrini, look, he might be at fault maybe once or twice, but he's done a fantastic job considering how right-hand side orientated Napoli have been inside this first 45 minutes. It's the usual customers covering the most distance. Cataldi, McTominay and Guendouzi. All around that 5K mark in this first 40 or so minutes. Ball one back off Lobotka. Zaccagni now. Look to try and find Guendouzi, but the ball was slow. In the end, Elmas once again getting back to make the challenge. He really has had a stellar first 45 minutes. Just picked up important positions and picked up the ball in important spots. Di Lorenzo's come even more central now. Juan Jesus. Napoli wanted to see this game out to half-time. Reset from there. Noslin losing his footing there, trying to press. It's going to be a taxing effort for Lazio to get back into this game because the pressing they'll need to produce to dispossess this Napoli side is going to be quite extreme. Look how comfortable they are in the football. See by the stats there on screen, 70% of the ball for Napoli. Really have been unfazed. That's sort of a good little 4 to 5 minute spell in the middle of this first half from Lazio. But they have looked like a champion team today, Napoli. Milan posed a question with a important victory on Friday night. Napoli here looking to respond. And Inter will look to respond tonight as they take on Bologna. That's going to be no easy game there either. McTominay into Elmas. Try to find Højlund, and in the end he was dispossessed. Zaccagni ran into a wall of black players. And Zaccagni in the end booked for his challenge on Scott McTominay. He is not happy. He needs to watch out he doesn't get a second yellow from the referee. Look, that's a poor challenge. That's always going to be a bookable offence. But he needs to just stay calm here because this game could get away from Lazio here if they concede another. Or if they get sent down to 10 men. I mean, Tominay's remained on the floor here. He's in some pain and discomfort. It's a bad one. Hyperextension there, the knee. That's not good. Tominay could be in some trouble here. The MVP of Serie A last season has found some form in recent times after a slow start to the season. They've gone the spray. Don't know how that's going to help the knee region. He is in some hurt here. He really is struggling here, Scott McTominay. The referee signalled a substitution to the bench, so maybe that is McTominay's day done. Struggling to put weight on that knee. Whistles now echoing out in the Stadio Olimpico. They're not happy that McTominay has gone down and got all that treatment, but he's somewhat back to his feet. I don't know how much longer he's going to last, though. So McTominay is, though, back to his feet and running around somewhat unharmed. So back underway here with 3 minutes of stoppage time to play. McTominay's brought that ball down. Brushed off it, though, by Matteo Guendouzi. Cancellieri. That's poor again. He's had an awful first half. Juan Jesus wins the ball back. Here comes Rasmus Højlund. Mario Hila for company. Plays the ball off Cancellieri, who continues to struggle. You'd think have to be replaced at half-time. A player of maybe Pedro's quality. He really has been a liability inside the first 45 minutes. We're 1 minute in to the 3 of stoppage time. I see McTominay there limping a bit. He might be also substituted at half-time just as a precaution. Because if that injury is made any worse by playing on, Antonio Conte and Napoli will be in some serious trouble. Especially with that Kevin De Bruyne, Billy Gilmore, and Gisa as well. Milinkovic-Savic now. To the feet of Lobotka as a halfway through stoppage time here. So far this first half, one-way traffic, all Napoli. They've made it count at the important times. 2-0 as we approach half-time here. You really haven't been troubled at all by this Lazio side. Juan Jesus, Elmas, dropping in deep again. Oh, great little touch around the corner. Get the better of Marusic and then is fouled in the end. Fantastic work from the North Macedonian. Winning a free kick for his side. Half a minute now to go in this first half. So far, so good from those from Naples. A lot for Maurizio Sarri to talk about in the half-time interval, because his lads haven't really come to play so far. And boy, have Napoli and Antonio Conte come to. That should run us out to the end of the first half here after this throw. 3 minutes have been played. That is half-time. 2-0 to the champions. They need to respond after Milan won on Friday night, and they have done that today. 2 Politano assists. 1 for a fantastic opener. Coming for Spinazzola, left back, the volley there early on in the game. And then later in the match, towards half-time, it was a fantastic ball in once again by Politano and Rahmani with the header just after the half-hour mark. It is the 13th minute Spinazzola goal and the 32nd minute Rahmani goal that gives Napoli the 2-goal lead. I'll have a quick break here for half-time. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so for what's going to be a massive second half of football. Can Lazio find their way back into it, or do Napoli continue to pile more pain on the Roman side? We're going for a quick half-time interval, and we'll see you after the half-time break. Alrighty, ladies and gents, we are back here. Second half action, literally seconds away. The rain has just halted for a little bit of time here, so might get some nice football here in the first few moments of this first half. Sarri just making his way to the touchline now. The stat did come up though in the first half that Napoli are 10 from 10 when scoring first this season in Serie A. And they absolutely started this game on fire. But can Lazio respond at home in the capital? They get us kicked off here in the second half. They were in first gear. Napoli, well, they were in sports mode in the first half. 2 goals from 2 defenders. Spinazzola and Rahmani, both coming from Politano crosses. It's Lazio in the traditional sky blue kit from right to left, attacking that home end. And there's Napoli in their change black strip from left to right. They foster a 2-goal advantage in the second half. We're back underway here for Serie A lunchtime football and our Super Sunday fixture here on the Player Zone channel. Good to have you all joining me here. It's been an entertaining watch so far. Appreciate the kind words. Just reading through the comments now. Here's Elmas. It's the feet of Spinazzola. He turns and sprays the ball across the pitch to Politano. He is obviously on a hat-trick of assists. The third was due to be there, I thought, but Politano brought to ground by Pellegrini. And he's asking the assistant for a potential yellow card because of the foul there. Conte with the hat and the jacket on, kicking himself dry in this real awful day in Rome. No changes at half-time. Napoli continue with their 3 back. Spinazzola and Politano bombing on from fullback to be proper wingers. Elmas and Neres tight today. In behind Rasmus Højlund up top. For Lazio, Provedel continues in net. Zaccagni is the option going forward alongside Cancellieri. As we have this set play again for Napoli. Politano's already assisted 1 goal from a set piece. What can you do here? Another great ball in. Oh, McTominay looked close. I think Højlund also in there as well. I think that's going to go out. That's going to be a corner for Napoli. Politano shrugs his shoulders. He thought someone should have got, it was Højlund, he should have got a better contact on it. Mario Hiller looks like he's cramped when trying to land there. Here's Elmas now. Corner kick, right-footed in-swinger. He'll go up again. Providel came, flapped at it. And Neres had an air swing there for the volley. The pass was no good either. And Pellegrini does well. Great pirouette. And Basic now. Zaccagni. Cataldi now can spread the play to his midfield partner, Matteo Guendouzi. Is this the Lazio response? Marusic's ball. Great ball. And Cancellieri's got a touch on it. And Basic couldn't beat Milinkovic-Savic to the loose ball. One of the best Lazio moves we've seen today, and it's on the counter-attack. Flowing, spreading the play. Most players involved. And yeah, no one really getting good contact on it. It comes off Zaccagni's shoulder in the end. Opportunity possibly missed there for Lazio. If they're going to get in this game, you'd think they'd have to score a goal within the first 15 minutes of the second half, because the later this game goes, the deeper Napoli will sit and the more compact they'll become. And the more you have to force the game and chase it. That's a great ball for Rasmus Højlund. He holds off Romagnoli fantastically well there. Elmas drops the ball into Højlund. Keeps away from Cataldi. Spinazzola. It's a ball in. Not fully dealt with. Now it is from Guendouzi. You can take the ball away. It was a searching ball for Noslin, but really not much the centre forward could do with that. So Napoli back in possession. Obviously the first half saw Napoli have the lion's share of the ball. Around 70% possession. Created all the big opportunities. Lazio only managed the one shot in the first half. The stats say it all though. 3 big chances, 7 shots, 1.2 XG, and 70% of the ball for Napoli. Lazio have not had a look at all in this game here. And they really have looked like a team of champions today. Cataldi broke the play up there and we'll get the ball back. Just to be a little bit more progressive with their passing, you're thinking maybe more one-touch, two-touch stuff. Slower the game goes, the more Napoli prefer that. They can sit in, keep Lazio at arm's distance and keep them away from their box. Zaccagni looking for the return ball to Pellegrini's. And a great run into the area there. The ball in was fabulous, but no one really attacked it. The frustration of the Stadio Olimpico crowd can be heard. Cancellieri, one way than the next, has kept the ball glued to his feet. Zaccagni's touch, they got away from him. Lobotka can take the ball away. And Napoli can get rid. They didn't quite do that though. Mario Hiller wins it back. Cancellieri. Listen to the roar of the Stadio Olimpico crowd. Those Lazio fans, they still believe. Cancellieri. Juan Jesus in well. And McTominay fouled by the Lazio creator. Just, again though, a few moments here. Great marauding run from Pellegrini. And Noslin just didn't work as hard as he needed to just chuck a leg out maybe ahead of Juan Jesus. Because that was a fantastic ball in and a fantastic run from Pellegrini, the left back. Deserved more. 5 minutes in the second half and already Lazio looked much better than they did in the opening 45 minutes. So that's a positive for this game. Can never write any team out in Serie A with how competitive it is and how hard to beat each side is. Lazio are really making things difficult here for Napoli. Have come out sluggish second half. That ball from Providel has put Romagnoli under pressure. Napoli striking back with a press of their own. Noslin's headers pull. Straight to McTominay. Now to Neres. One touch into Politano. Return ball for David Neres now. He's got space and time. Cross in. Towards the back post. Spinazzola again. Repelled by Romagnoli. McTominay rising. Politano. High foot. Foul. Too much space for David Neres, you thought. And always produced a fabulous second goal for Spinazzola. Bit of back and forth there with Matteo Guendouzi and Scott McTominay. Still remains, however, 2-0. One back high of the piss by Juan Jesus. Here's Rasmus Højlund. Gets some space. Rasmus Højlund side netting. It was a powerful run there. A fantastic strike, but only to side netting and didn't trouble Provedel in the end. But that's the danger that Rasmus Højlund possesses. That quick turn of speed, the physicality he possesses can cause problems for the Serie A back line. Cataldi, Marusic now. That's an incisive ball looking for Zaccagni. Unable to find him, but the ball's back now with Provedel. Tell you what, the 3-1 scoreline I predicted at the start of the game is looking on track here. It's been a back and forth start this second half. You can almost see both teams scoring in this second 45. That's a great ball from Provedel. Noslin's drifted out wide left. Pellegrini wanted it, ignored him initially. Zaccagni's ball. Juan Jesus there. Got the initial header, and then Milinkovic-Savic reacted to catch the follow-up. We approach 10 minutes into the second half here. The Lazio fans in great voice today. Waving those scarves, getting behind their side. They've been in great form, but their team wasn't in the first half, and that's why they're trailing 2-0. 2 Politano assists for the Spinazzola volley and the Rahmani header. Means there's a long way back for Lazio, but we know they're a very tough team to beat, so they look to bounce back, you'd think, in the second half, but it's the fact of if they can break down this very winning-orientated Napoli side. Massive game to come tonight if we look forward in the Serie A. Inter and Bologna face off. That's a massive one at the top end of the table. Fiorentina, after their win a few weeks ago, take on Cremonese. They've had a strong run this season with 5 victories. As it currently stands, so Napoli moving to second. But obviously Inter to play tonight. Inter who are probably disappointed they didn't win that Supercoppa in Saudi Arabia, considering the form they brought into that tournament. But Napoli will be very happy with that first cup picked up, and I want more. I want more silverware. Coppa Italia, and obviously Serie A, the Scudetto, will be on the top of their mind. This performance here is going to show why they're one of the big contenders. Elmas, Spinazzola now, great run, looking for Di Lorenzo, and he in the end has brought Zaccagni to ground. Skipper on skipper. Not really much in that there, but trailing foot. There's Spinazzola's stats there. 3 shots, got the goal. His top speed at 31.5 kilometers an hour. Shows he isn't slowing down as he's aging. Here's that replay of that first goal early on in the game. Fantastic lofted ball from Politano. And a well-controlled finish, cushioned finish there by Spinazzola. And talking about cushioned, Rahmani's header. That was cushioned into the side netting. Fantastic goal from him. His first in over a year. Magic sprays back out now for the right ankle of Zaccagni. As I've said, he's been put through the wars today, and I expect to know no different. Set a delay here, so this will all be added up in stoppage time. Sure of that. This is Zaccagni asking for a substitution potentially. Lazzari, Profsgaard, Isaacson, Rovella, Pedro all on the bench as options for Lazio. They have the more options out of the two sides, you'd think, to change the game from the bench. I think if it's Savage off his line and just absolutely hoifs that. That ball's high in the sky. It's going to be hard to bring down. Rasmus Højlund competing. Marusic getting the header back to Provedel in goal. Conte pointing, wanting his team to press. Højlund obliges there. Ball to the feet of Noslin. Does well there with the hold-up play. That's a great pass from Bacic to Cataldi. There's Marusic there. Guendouzi now. That was poor from him. Broken up by the Scottish Scott McTominay. Rasmus Højlund now. Hasn't seen too much of it. Scott McTominay holding off Guendouzi and getting Napoli moving forward. And they've got a bit of a power play here. It's 4-on-6. The seventh Lazio man getting back now. Neres. Pellegrini with him every step of the way and all over him here. But Neres has done fantastic. He's kept his feet. And he's won a throw. Neres, as always, very relaxed. And now Pellegrini's gone to ground. He was ragdolling Neres. He just kept his feet. He just stood him up fantastically well. And they all are friends again, but I think Antonio Conte and Politano wondering how that's not a foul on the Lazio fullback. Here's David Neres. Neres now, one way to the next. Neres, oh, could have gone to ground there with the challenge of Pellegrini. Politano now, Neres. Releases to Scott McTominay. First touch put him under pressure. In the end was crowded out, but it's one back here by Juan Jesus. Spinazzola. Loses the ball to Cancellieri, and here come Lazio now. What can they do with it? The crowd urging them forward. Backwards they go. Let me fit the hour mark here. No massive chances yet in the second half. And Napoli well and truly in control here. To be honest with you, now as the half's grown older, they look the more likely out of the two sides. Here comes Politano. He has been the heartbeat of this Napoli side. Marauding forward. Back though by Cataldi there. There's Noslin. Dropping in deeper and deeper as the game goes on. Cataldi, Noslin. This is when he looks good though. When he comes off the bench, he often does this. Dropping in and linking up the game. Zaccagni. Here's Mario Hila. Better from Lazio here. Zaccagni. He's just picking up dangerous spots now. Basic's ball. Cancellieri tried the impossible. And in the end, that's just going to fizzle out for a goal kick off the corner flag. So here comes Lazzari. Pellegrini off. Oh, he's had a really, really tough day. Hasn't really put too many foot wrong. But it's just come up against a very, very informed right-hand side for Rome. For Naples and Napoli. Di Lorenzo. From the look of it, Marusic is going to come to left back and Lazzari will go to right back. So, bit of a shuffle at the back for Lazio. More attackingly orientated, however. Might be the way back into the game. That's a great cushion header there by Labocca to get Napoli out of the press. Here comes Elmas. Haven't seen much of him in the second half. Mario Hila goes to him. Elmas does well to keep Hila away from the football. Spinazzola now. Tries a little nutmeg on Mario Hilo. He's done fantastic in that passage to keep Napoli out. A corner given of Mario Hilo in the end. It looked like it was a deflection. Came off Hilo and then off Spinazzola. But the right call. It did brush Mario Hilo on the way out. So the referee, once again, has made a very good call. Set piece here. Elmas. Providel again came and didn't really get any contact. Cancellieri gets rid. Juan Jesus will go back to his goalkeeper. To be Milinkovic-Savic today has had little to nothing to do in the Napoli net. Juan Jesus. Di Lorenzo. Great turn there from Politano. And he's brought to ground by Cataldi, and he'll pick up a slice of cheddar. So, yellow card now for Cataldi alongside Zaccagni. Key players at the side, both booked now. This game looking further and further away for Lazio. Bit of a miracle needed, you'd think. Taken short there. 25 minutes to go. Only the one change so far. Lazzardi's come on. Pellegrini off. Napoli, unsurprisingly, with a 2-goal cushion. Yet to make a substitution as of yet. Politano. He's got the 2 assists in this game for Napoli. A fantastic job today. McTominay. It's with Juan Jesus. Now with the goal scorer, Rahmani. Jesus. Oh, smart little back heel from Spinazzola. Elmas now. Starting to grow in influence in this game here. Politano has a paddock on the right-hand side. And Conte, I think, is demanding for the ball to come out here. Too long, though. And now Lazio sets up well behind the football. Lobotka. Into David Neres and now to Politano. This right-hand side has bared so much fruit for Napoli in this game here. Neres scored from a very similar area in Saudi Arabia. Neres has gone down in his own. And that's dangerous. That did not look good at all. He just stopped. That's either an Achilles or a calf, and that's no good at all. He's gone back down. I think this could be his day over. And he's just, like, he keeps flexing and extending that ankle, and that's a problem. You can see a few hands on heads there and some discussion in the Napoli away end. He's been their best player this season for me. And if he goes out, I often say this with Napoli, he's a different mold of player that not many clubs in Serie A have. You have Noah Lang there, who can do a similar job, but no one is quite like David Neres. He's got the sock off now and he's limping. He's in some trouble. And the way he went down there is no good at all for Napoli. He's wincing in lots of pain. So I am worried here for David Neres and worried for Napoli. He's sort of feeling the outside of his leg now. That's a big worry and a big shame. Such a great watch, David Neres. To have him go down would be an absolute shame. Well, now it's all kicking off there. Noslin and Milinkovic-Savic. And they're all in there now. All of a sudden, it's just boiled over. I don't know what's happened here, but Noslin and Milinkovic-Savic have got into it. I'll tell you what, you don't want to fight this Napoli side. McTominay, Milinkovic-Savic. Rahmani, there's some big lads there. Noslin's picked up a yellow. I do not know what's happened here. Back in the Serie A to have some chaos. Having a chat with Rahmani, who's picked up a yellow card himself. So Mazzocchi's on. So it's such a sad sight seeing David Neres limping off there. Does look like a poor injury. Calf or Achilles potentially, and that's a long time out for the talented attacker. So Mazzocchi is more of a conservative substitution. Oh, great little touch there from Di Lorenzo, who feeds in Elmas. He looks to be a little bit further up the pitch now. Spinazzola. The touch of Lazzari. Had a play for Napoli throw. Look, thought he kept it in. Did he keep it in? He absolutely... Oh, he did not. Another great call from the referee. Oh, Belhayan and Isaacson on. Cataldi makes way. The robust midfielder. Belhayan can add some goal threat, and Cancelleri, well, that's due. He's been horrid today, to put it frankly. So Belhayan and Isaacson come on in place of Cataldi and Cancelleri. This injury list is growing week by week, it feels like, and this squad is thinning right out. With the dramas regarding their spending, I doubt there'll be many joining in January. Here's a chance. Belhayan able to get there ahead of Lobotka, who's seems to always be in the way. If you look at the bench now, Contini and Mere, the goalkeepers, Borgiorno, the centre half, Oliveira, the midfielder, Miguel Gutierrez, the wing back, Marianucci, Prisco, Noah Lang can be that attacking player, Ambrios, Sonino as well. But so many players out. Politano, Mazzocchi's there. Yeah, deflected back off Mazzocchi. And here's a goal kick. A great call from the referee. Let's look at the average positions here. David Neves was basically operating as the highest player at times on the heat map. It really is Politano and him on that right side that was highest up the pitch on the heat map here. So they're losing some key attacking talent. We saw in that Supercoppa final how dangerous he really is. That's a great return ball for Lazzari. Juan Jesus getting back to make a fantastic challenge. He's gone under the radar this season as a very accomplished centre-half. Rahmani. Lobotka. Scott McTominay now. Elmas. Space for him to operate into. It's Elmas. It's Politano. Matteo Politano produce. Cutting inside. Lofting that in. Over the back of Rasmus Højlund. Too much loft on it that time. Politano wants the corner kick. He thinks it's come off Marusic, but not amused the referee. So a quarter of an hour to go. Still Napoli 2 to the good. But without their superstar David Neres, who's exited the field of play with some sort of calf or Achilles injury, you think. Quite inconspicuous the way he went down. So that's a real problem for them going forward. Here's Isaacson off the bench. What can he produce? Juan Jesus backpedaling. It's Isaacson. Well, blocked by Juan Jesus, who was with him every step of the way. Isaacson, hands to head. Can't believe he hasn't made the most of that. Is this the chance, though, which Lazio can take? They desperately need a goal now, you think, if they want to have any chance of salvaging this game. This Napoli backline has looked unfazed throughout most of this game so far. In-swinging ball by Basic. Met by Rahmani. Balayan just volleys that back into a dangerous spot, but no one reacted quick enough for that. And that's a play. Højlund keeps that ball alive. Holds up the defender. Matty Hiller really well and does a fantastic job holding that ball up. Lobotka now. McTominay. What can the MVP produce? He's had a pretty quiet day at the office. Politano. Now into Rasmus Højlund. Politano again. Mazzocchi. Great ball in. There's the header. Oh! And Elmas. Again. Massive chance inside the box. And he's furious. And so he should be. It's a free volley. On the edge of the 6-yard box. Free header, sorry. And somehow he's headed it wide of the target. Had to just get on target. Almost hit that near post and you've got it. In the end, he's showing his frustration there with his shirt over his face. Another big chance missed for the North Macedonian. Substitutions here. Buongiorno coming on. Miguel Gutierrez coming on. So Spinazzola, the goal scorer, off. If it's Juan Jesus or Ramani off. But Buongiorno's coming on. And it's Rahmani. So both goal scorers making way. Miguel Gutierrez and Buongiorno coming on in their place. Last 10 minutes or so here for Napoli. Ganduzi. Atsari. Basic now. I guess now for Lazio, it's all about some character here. Can they find a way to score a goal, show what they're all about in the final third? It has been their struggle this season. Ganduzi around the corner. Moslin, fantastic footwork. You think he has to be heavily involved as well as this man here, Mattia Zaccagni. Oh, it's a poor pass for Belayan and gives it to Rasmus Højlund. He can run out Mario Healer. Loses footing. Everyone just pauses for a minute, then advantage played. McTominay takes it on. Really was never really going to trouble Providel. A strange sequence there from Napoli and Lazio. Like the power, like the precision there, McTominay. And now it's Lazio to get us back underway. Stat there shows it all though. 14 shots to 3. Keep in mind though, I guess a lot of those Napoli shots have been long-range efforts. They haven't quite troubled Providel, but in their own right, they should have really put 3 or 4 in the back of the net today. Romagnoli to Lazio. Here's the player of the match candidates. Romagnoli, Rachmani, Spinazzola. And for me, it has to be Politano. Has been unbelievable today. Big shout out to Juan Jesus as well, who's won all these battles at the back, it feels like. Really hasn't put a foot wrong. Bongiorno on and is fouled instantly. There by Noslin. And Noslin's off. Well, there you go. You just knew something stupid was about to happen, and it was Noslin. Second yellow card, a careless challenge on Rahmani and the centre forward, who Lazio will need if we're going to try and get back into this game here, is sent off. And he's going to miss next week's big matchup. Fiorentina coming next week, and during the week, sorry. And that's just stupidity from the centre forward. And that's just a brain fade from that centre forward. Bongiorno looks good to continue. I swear right now, United are drawing 0-0 with Leeds United. Sevilla and Levante just kicked off recently, still 0-0 there. Birmingham lead Coventry and QPR lead Sheffield Wednesday. Around the major leagues. Here's Rasmus Højlund. Elmas. So down to 10 and 2 goals down. You don't give Lazio much of a chance here in this one. Mazzocchi. You just think Napoli would just play this one out here, keep the ball, keep the 10 men of Lazio chasing. Mazzocchi was making the run in the box there. Romagnoli gets it out of play. It will be a Napoli throw. Labocca. Lazio just content. I think this is one out as well. Both these two teams have... Zaccagni needs to be very careful, because he is playing very recklessly right now, and as the skipper, he's got midweek football to be worried about, and that's just stupid. The anger's showing. He's had little to nothing to worry about in terms of any chance to go and show his quality in the football. I think he's just tired of it. He's taking it out in the opposition right now, and he needs to be careful he doesn't get sent off. He's also on a yellow card, and if you're Munic or Sardi, maybe you just bite the bullet and take your skipper off. Because this game is lost. You don't want to lose your skipper with it. Oh, Lang reading himself in the touchline. Brosino there as well, the youngster. So, number 69 and 70. We're right there. Arrival. McTominay. Great ball into Matteo Politano. Hoyland holds off his man, but holds him off illegally. And fouls Mario Hila. It's become quite a scrappy game in the last few moments. Rasmus Højlund makes way. He's put a shift in, but nowhere near his sparkling best which we've seen in recent weeks. So he makes way for Noah Lang. And Elmas also for Ambrosino as well. So fresh faces for Napoli in the last 5 minutes. Elmas kicks the ball in disgust. I think he's just fuming he was unable to score a goal today. Plenty of chances. Plenty of great chances at that. But unable to find that clinical edge. Zakanya off, so they have taken that decision to, I think the smart decision of that, to get rid of the captain today so they don't miss him for the next game. Marusic. And Mazzocchi get into it, and this can get ugly here. Conte's in the middle of it all. It's all kicking off now. And I think Conte doesn't want his man sent off. And both players now sent off. It is just chaos here. I don't know what's going on. Both straight reds. And Mazzocchi, that's probably the bigger loss. Napoli have football and big games to come in their title charge. They're going to lose Mazzocchi after they've already lost Neres to an injury. And for Lazio now, Marusic waving to the fans. He's applauding coming off. So now Lazio down to 9. That's just stupid for Marusic. And Mazzocchi, he should have retaliated, honestly, because he has a lot more to lose. And so do Napoli. And that's where Conte comes into. You see his face. He's disappointed in his player. There was no need to do that. And they are short again now next week. Or midweek, sorry. And Lazio, you're missing now 2 key players. Noslin and Marusic for the next game. That's a massive loss for them. And this short turnaround in form is going to come to an abrupt end. It's a fair double red from the referee. It's just stupidity from both those 2 players. Reaction for the crowd, though. Not smart either. They shouldn't be condoning what their side is doing. Throwing away players and throwing away the next few games. Still the first half double. Spinazzola and Rahmani. It's the difference. It's been a crazy second half quality was great in the first 10 minutes. Then it became Napoli's second half. And the last sort of 20 or so minutes has just been, almost like rugby at times. Scrappy, hard to watch. 3 red cards. Here we go. Pedro. Get to D! Oh! Off the crossbar. I think Savage could have got there, but I think that had the beating of him. His accent. Maybe the chaos of 9 versus 10 is what Lazio need. Wouldn't that have made it a grandstand finish if they'd scored there in the 90th minute? 5 minutes to go. His accent. Header not reaching his intended target. Here comes Noah Lang. He's going to have a big role to play in the next few games. Maybe in the rest of the season. Depending on how long David Neres is out for. Politano. And with the skipper, Di Lorenzo. Chaotic end to this one. Really has been. Half-time team. Manchester United Leeds United's 0-0. Ambrosino now. Met by 3 Lazio shirts. And give it Savic. I wouldn't bet against another red card for Lazio. Maybe even a Guendouzi or even a Mario Hila, the way these players are playing. Very aggressive, playing angry. They can maybe be angry with themselves. Really poor football today. And the old laser out for the Napoli fans. Tomine wants to take the game on again with another shot, but poor yet again. Pedro. Basic now. A fair play to these Lazio fans. They continue to be in fine voice. Despite their team's performance, despite the scoreline, most of them have stayed, and the anthem sung out now. Showing their unwavering support for this side. A good few weeks, but that's going to come to an abrupt end here. Pedro. It's Belayan. Mario Hila now. Halfway through, stoppages. Lazio love a goal back here. Make the game really, really interesting in the last 2 minutes. Isaacson fighting well. McTominay fighting better, however. The flares go off inside of Stadio Olimpico. Guendouzi. Pedro wanting more from his attacking unit. Wanted that run from his exit on the far side. So Napoli keep the pressure on the top few teams. The 4 2-0 wins in a row now. You can see the team coming back into form. Pedro, unless Lazio can do something here in the final few minutes. A 2-0 win over Milan in the Supercoppa semi-final. And a 2-0 win against Bologna in the final. Followed up by a 2-0 win at Cremonense. Now a 2-0 win here at Lazio with Verona midweek. And then Inter in the big game of the season following up on the weekend. Is no one going to be a belter. We're a win away from full time here. Napoli, as we currently stand in second place in Serie A. 30 seconds away here from full time. Fabulous performance from those wearing black today. Can they top it off with a third goal here? Politano on the right-hand side. He already has 2 assists. Can he add a goal to his game? That's going to be a goal kick. That should do us. Great performance from Politano. Great performance from Conte's men. They have bossed this game for minute 1. 2-0. Probably doesn't tell the full story. They've been unbelievable today, Napoli. The win takes them up second in Serie A. They get the pressure on Milan. And they put the pressure on Inter Milan tonight to get a big win over Bologna. Another great Super Sunday here on the channel. Another great Serie A encounter. Thank you for joining me, everybody at home. Fantastic win here. It was 2 assists from Matteo Politano. The first, the volley to his wing-back partner in Spinazzola in the 13th minute. And then the second goal from a set play, Rahmani heading home to make it 2-0. And they were the 2 goals that made the difference in this game here. It's Napoli 2, Lazio 0. Big win for the team from Naples. Thank you guys for joining me.